laughing. I like that. I like starting with a little bit of fun like that.
Yeah.
All right. Fade this guy down a little bit. So, today we have Natalie, and I was thinking about it this morning. Natalie, when she started with us, she was Vendetti, and now she's Brian.
Yeah.
And while I love the Brian family, and I like the name, but what's better than saying Vendetti? It feels good coming out. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I mean, Brian's good though. You know what I mean? It's like you lost Vendetti, and it's a great family, the Bryans, and it's not so bad saying Brian. Some people end up with, they start their life with a good last name, and then they go to hell with a bad one. You know what I mean? Poor Ron.
I think Anna's old last name was pretty like Vendetti. It just rolled off your tongue.
Oh yeah. And we won't get into that. I don't want to pick on anybody on that one. But so anyway, Natalie is, like Mark, I would consider a legend. She there's so many, and I say that because so many people come in to our stores, Research and Design and Sunshine and Bluebirds, and they're like, who is that person that does those social media posts? They get me every time. And, I don't know, I don't really know your opinion on this, but if you're around, I'm like, it's her.
Oh,
it's her. So I don't know. Do you mind when I do that? Yeah. So it's funny. I asked that question because when Anna's in the store and people are asking me questions, I'm like, well, ask the buyer. And it makes her she doesn't want people to know that she's the buyer, I guess.
Social media, I don't care if people know. I don't, Mark will always call out Townie to me.
Well,
you should.
That bothers you a little bit?
Not bothers me, but I just don't.
You want to
need to call it out.
You want to be the wizard of social media? You prefer that? Well, anyway, so for those of you who really feel like our social media is something that you enjoy and helps you put your wardrobe together, you can thank this very kind and enthusiastic young lady, Natalie. So that's my intro. She's the woman behind all that magic.
Oh,
so let's get right into some questions. So my favorite question is going to come a little bit later, but to start, I want to know who you on social media admire the most, meaning like celebrity or somebody's Instagram or whatever. Who are you really into? You think is the best?
I follow Something Navy, and so Ariel Charnas is the founder.
Gotcha.
I follow both the company and her personal every day.
And it's your favorite?
Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. I think you're in good company there. I think Ronnie and Anita are big fans.
Oh, really?
Something
it's good.
Navy.
It's good content.
Well. Nice. Sydney, do you know Something Navy?
Yeah, my one friend Isabel's actually obsessed with it. My boyfriend lives
Your boyfriend is obsessed with it?
No, he lives across from her apartment.
Oh, a girl.
That's cool.
When my friend's in New York with me, she camps outside of her apartment to see if she'll walk out.
So your friend stalks Something Navy. Oh, nice.
Obsessed with her.
Nice. Okay, well, that leads me to a question that's not on my list. Is there somebody on social media you would stalk if you had the opportunity? If they're
Stalk? Probably not.
Well, I mean, that's an extreme word, but who would you be most starstruck by? Like if you happen to be staying at a friend's apartment and you found out that this person lived across the way, who would it be that you'd be like, oh my God? You don't have to have an answer right now.
Yeah.
Or even ever. You want to come back to that one?
Okay, well, when I was younger, I could say
there we go.
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker?
Yeah. I would stalk for sure. He's not living.
He is so your type. Oh, my God. I probably could have guessed that one. Paul Walker. I mean, very handsome young man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll try and think of a current one.
Was it his looks or was it his attitude, what do you think, or just the whole package?
Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Kyle's probably going to watch this.
Nice. Did you ever watch the Fast and Furious movies? Yeah. You didn't care about the cars, right? You're sitting there watching it. They're like, whoa, did you see that drift? And you're like, drift? Like, do you see his eyes? Drift is when a car, the back end slides out to go around a turn.
Okay.
So you're watching Fast and the Furious. You're not paying attention to the drift at all. You're like, Paul Walker. All right. That's good. We're going off track here, but I like it. Any modern day Paul Walkers? Let me answer that question. Kyle Bryan. Yes, he's the modern day Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a little safer driver. That's good. Yeah.
Cautious.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so we got the who you are into. It's that I'm excited about that because, I want to kind of know who you're influenced by. So something Navy. Do you feel like that feed and that world influences some of the things you do?
Yes.
Oh, good. Good.
For sure.
I like it. Okay. Going a little bit off that topic, who's the hardest worker you know?
The hardest worker?
Yeah.
Probably Kyle.
Oh, I like it. Good stuff.
Yeah, he never stops.
I know. I noticed that when you guys were getting married. Him and I were I felt like a dynamic duo because, I feel like I can go pretty hard too. So we were on the same page. We didn't sit for a week.
No.
There was no
He works very hard.
seats in use. That's great. I love that. That's a very, very good answer. Okay. Now let's get to some basics about your story. Where were you born?
Here in Buffalo at Buffalo General.
Buffalo General. Mm-hmm. And when you were born, what town, or whatever, did you live?
North Buffalo.
North Buffalo? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, on Tacoma.
Gotcha. So Mom and Pop Vendetti lived on. Okay, and then from there, you guys moved to Williamsville?
When I went to kindergarten, we moved. Before I went to kindergarten, we went to Williamsville.
Gotcha. Do you remember North Buffalo at all?
Kind of.
I mean, you were young. I was 5 years old.
Yeah, not a ton, but.
Gotcha. You think your parents ever wonder whether they should have stayed there or never?
Yes. But I think they're glad that they moved.
Gotcha. You think they'd ever, like, in retirement, want to maybe move back there? Or?
No.
Yeah. I figured that much. They seem pretty entrenched in the Williamsville municipality. Okay, so high school was Williamsville?
North, yeah.
Williamsville North. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Any lifelong friends from high school?
Yeah. Two of my best friends are from, middle school.
Great.
Childhood.
Great. Okay. First job?
First job was at a dry cleaners in Williamsville.
Really? Mm-hmm. What did you do? Did you do the social media? Do you hear this crackle? This smells so nice and clean.
No, I was just at the front desk and you just take in the clothes and
nice.
Send them off.
Wow, I didn't know that. We're at a dry cleaner. And then what, second job?
New York and Company.
New York and Company?
Yeah, the clothing store in the mall.
Oh, is it still there?
Yeah.
What is that is it like a shoe store?
No, it's clothing, jewelry.
And you think it's still there?
Yeah.
Sydney, do you know about
Maybe not in the gallery.
Okay. All right. I like it. Okay. Go through your siblings. Tell me about them.
My older sister is Nina. She works in a prison. She's a social worker.
There's nothing wrong with working in a prison, but the way you just said she works in a prison.
Oh, because it's very her. She's very
she's
hard, stern,
all right.
hard-headed.
Stern,
she sits
hard-headed.
across from people with shackles and
you think she just really has no problem with it, handles it with ease?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
And then
do you have anything else to say about her? A lovely mom.
She's a great mom.
Yeah.
2 kids, 1 on the way.
Oh, nice. Did I know that?
Probably not.
I don't think
July.
so. Well, that's a breaking news.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then she lives right by my parents.
Gotcha. And you get along with her really well?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had a couple of disagreements over the years, right?
Yes.
Did you take her clothes when your kids?
No.
You had better clothes. Did she ever take your clothes?
Sometimes.
You think she took your clothes more than you took hers?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sydney, did your sisters take your clothes the most? You think you're the biggest victim in the house as far as clothes? No, your mom
No,
is.
my mom is.
Everybody takes her clothes.
Yeah.
Now that everybody's grown up, they steal your mom's
Yeah.
clothes. Okay. And you're number 2 victim as far as being ripped off.
No. I mean, they're away now.
Who has the best? Obviously, your mom has the best wardrobe. Who's you?
Yeah.
As far as the kids, okay. So you had the best wardrobe as a child in the house.
Probably, yeah.
Better than your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I asked that because I had the best wardrobe as a child in the house, and you know, I'm a guy.
He has nice clothes.
Yeah.
He's younger than me.
Okay, yeah.
and,
So we're going to your brother now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
His name is Phil, and he is a pilot for Delta.
And an awesome guy.
Yeah.
I know. So he's a pilot for Delta. He's younger than you?
Yep.
So
4 years younger.
you're in the middle.
Yeah.
Middle child. I mean, a real middle child. See, I'm sort of a modified. I'm in the middle of 4.
Oh, because there's 4, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm half a middle child. You're full
All
fledged.
middle, yeah.
You're like Ella. Yeah. Who, by the way, is off her rocker.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story about her later. Okay. This is interesting because I couldn't come up with an answer to this. Do you have a favorite nickname?
I don't have a nickname.
Well, everybody does at some point.
No.
100% no.
I don't have, no.
What does Mark call you?
Natalie.
What do I call you?
Natalie.
Have I ever called you Nat?
No, and I don't like it.
Oh. I have called you that, though. So now I know you don't like it.
It's not that I don't.
In a text message, I've called you Nat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Do you throw your phone on the ground when you do? Can you see it, Sydney? It's like what you do when you wake up.
Yeah, no one really calls
I
me
shouldn't be
that.
up this early. Okay. All right. So no
I have a
nicknames.
nickname.
Are you against having a nickname? Like if we came up with something good, would you be cool with it?
Yeah.
Or you just don't want one?
No, you can call me whatever nickname.
It's just
you
not
want.
Nat.
It's just not, like,
What's-
my mom always hated it. Like, it's just
Oh, so
never
it's not.
stuck with anyone. No
All
one
right.
ever.
Your mom hated it. What about it? Is it like it's a bug?
It was a bug.
Oh, that's I figured. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on from the nickname, boys and girls. All right. All right. So we're at what I would consider my favorite question on this list, on my list of questions for you. And this is a question we've discussed many times, but I want the real, we got to take the time to answer it correctly. Okay. How long did it really take you to get the job with us?
Because
I bring it up all the
It seem like it's like,
Oh, so
it took me years. It didn't.
I thought it did.
Months.
How many months?
Probably like 6.
That's pretty long.
Well, because you wouldn't respond to me.
Well, it wasn't. I just didn't need anybody. I think it's just to clear the air on that one. I was just. Definitely wanted to hire you, but I didn't know what to do. I apologize.
It was originally.
Were you
to
mad
start
at me at the
Tony.
time?
No,
You're like, this guy's a jerk. He doesn't get back to me.
no. I keep emailing you and
You
calling.
didn't. There was no letting up.
Well, because I was moving home and I needed a job.
Right, and you didn't want to work at New York and Company.
No,
Of course. All right. So moving home from where? Natalie?
New York City.
All right. Tell us about your time in New York City.
I loved it.
You loved it.
I was there 6 years. Right.
6 years? I didn't know that.
Yeah, right out of
Wow.
college.
Did you feel like you owned the city by the time you were?
I not that I own the city, but I knew my way around and
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us about your time there. What'd you do,
I-
and what did you enjoy doing? Like non-work things.
non-work things.
Well, give me both. Give me work and non-work.
Okay, well, work, I did technical design for a small company called Lillipy. Well, when I first started, I started right out of college, and I did an internship at New York and Company at the headquarters.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Didn't know that.
doing technical design, and then I was just supposed to be for the summer, and then they offered me the job in September, so I just stayed. I just never came home.
Those two companies related?
No.
Oh,
No, Lillipie is a small husband and wife owned little clothing company.
So you graduate.
I graduated, yeah.
And then you got the internship with
Yeah,
New York.
well, I needed the internship, but yeah.
Right, with New York and Company.
Yep.
Then they offered you a job.
Yep, so I just stayed.
Okay. And then how did the transition happen from New York and Company to Lillipie?
I didn't really want to be doing anything corporate anymore,
Oh.
to be honest.
So
I
you
wanted
went and
something smaller.
searched,
Yeah.
actively searched for
Yeah.
another job. And and you were able to get that job pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Gotcha. How long were you there?
At Lillipie? So probably 4 years, because I was at New York Company probably 2.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and
Nice.
then I met Kyle and moved home.
So it was for love that you moved home.
Yeah, I mean, I loved my job, and I loved New York, and I would have stayed, but
If Kyle would have offered to move there, you would have stayed there.
yes, but I also don't know if you can have a family. I mean, you definitely can have a family there, but
The challenges are different.
yeah,
Right. Gotcha.
I'm glad that we moved home.
Good. Everything worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Good stuff.
absolutely.
Okay, current family, husband, Kyle.
Husband Kyle,
What do
and
he's a hard worker.
yep, he
and
works for M&T.
And he's the new Paul Walker. Hard worker and new Paul Walker. This girl's got it made. I mean, when do you end up with the new Paul Walker and the hardest worker in the world? I mean, this. Now, let me say this. You're spot on. I mean, this guy, I don't even know. I mean, you hit the jackpot. That's good stuff. He's a good friend of mine, too,
guy.
by the way. I consider him part of my family, just
Yeah,
like
of
you.
course.
So he's the best. Okay. So you have a child,
Evelyn,
Evelyn.
is
Tell us
15
about her
months.
personality.
she's wild.
She's wild?
Yeah.
What way?
She's just not out of control, but she's definitely getting to be like a big personality.
Would you say that the personality like really started to come alive when she became mobile and started walking?
Yeah, she walked really early though. She walked at like 9.5 months.
That is very early.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So she's been walking for a while, but she's just, she's starting to, understand like no, and if you take something away, and she's like,
She gets mad?
but she's adorable, and I love her.
Is Kyle a pushover with her?
He's actually more stern than me.
Really? No kidding.
Yeah. If she's like going like, if the dishwasher's open and she'll be going to touch things in the dishwasher, he gets really upset. I'm like,
Well, he's
let her
worried.
touch
He's
it.
worried about her getting hurt.
Yeah, that's why he's stern,
Oh yeah.
but more so than me for sure.
Gotcha. All right. Well, she's as cute as they get. So I love it. All right. Oh, interesting. So I'm looking at my list of questions, and then suddenly pops up a list of questions from Ronnie that she wants me to ask you. Right on my phone. Okay, just so you guys see my phone and text message. That's Ronnie's dirty foot on there. And so let's ask you the Ronnie questions.
Oh, geez.
I mean, they just came in. Okay. What's your dream vacation spot?
Greece.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I would just love to go.
You haven't been there?
No.
Sydney, have you been there? Greece?
I wanted to
You
have
wanna
our
go there?
wedding there.
You wanted to have your wedding there?
Yeah, I thought about it.
Oh, so my house was your second choice. Which is fine. I mean, at least I'm not like 10th.
No,
Or something like that.
we would have never done that.
Yeah.
But
Greece, yeah, that's
Greece is my dream vacation.
awesome. So you want to go there sometime soon?
Yeah.
Great. All right. Oh, this is a good one. What are your 2 favorite things to do with Evelyn?
To do with her?
Yeah.
I like. Well, she just got a wagon, so right now we're every single night going on.
So
a
you
walk in
like
a
when she
wagon.
pulls you around in the wagon?
She probably will be.
Yeah.
And I like to take her out. Sometimes we'll just spontaneously go to lunch, just her and I. It's hard But like,
Right.
yeah, like on the weekends, I love
What does she order?
probably mac and cheese and something with cheese.
Did you give her a choice?
No,
She likes cheese.
she loves cheese.
It's weird. My kids either love or hate. Like Anya orders pizza with no cheese.
Really?
I'm like, how can you be in my family and order pizza with no cheese?
Yeah, anything with cheese.
It's very strange. Okay. What are your favorite restaurants?
In Buffalo?
Buffalo and beyond.
Osteria
Mm-hmm.
is probably our favorite. And then we go to 800 Maple a lot. I like 800 Maple.
And those are
house.
they're both close by. Yeah, it's fun. It's funny how that works.
Towns,
Right.
Osteria downtown.
Oh, gotcha. It's funny how that works. You know, like if somebody was to ask me, the first thing I would think of is, well, where do I go to the most? And it's a place I like a lot that's close. You know, so convenience definitely plays a part in that. So nice. Okay. What about favorite restaurants in the world?
Oh, geez. The Garlic in New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Where is that?
New Smyrna?
Yes.
It's like 20 minutes south of Daytona.
Oh.
My parents have a house, so we've been going since I was a baby.
Your parents have a house there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm learning a lot of things. Holy cow. Maybe we'll just keep this thing going. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so that's one.
Mm-hmm. We used to go to Del Frisco's a lot in New York when Kyle came.
It's really good.
Really good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay. There you go. That's good. Okay, dream car or SUV?
Huh. Really? You know what? I never thought about it.
You don't have to have an answer right away.
Will definitely be an SUV.
Okay, so you're an SUV girl?
Yeah.
Especially after getting stuck at the bottom of the SB parking lot.
Oh, God.
We need all-wheel drive. I will
Yeah.
never get caught without all-wheel drive.
I like the F-Pace a lot. Jaguar.
Do you like that car, Sid? Oh, okay. So, not sure. Okay. That's your dream?
Yeah.
That's your dream? Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I love this one. Favorite part of your wedding day? It's a hard question because it was a great wedding. There was so many good parts.
I think walking down the aisle with my
Right.
dad.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Because it was a beautiful day and it was just like seeing everyone actually there.
Right. I like it.
Yeah.
Now that's the end of Ronnie's questions.
Okay.
And I'm going to go on that thread, the wedding thread. When the moment came when they said, you may kiss the bride, were you a little nervous that your dad was watching?
No.
Yeah. Had you kissed Kyle prior to that in front of your dad?
Probably not.
No, so that was the first time, but you didn't think about it?
No.
No? Okay. So that was an interesting one. Will you be nervous when they say, and you may kiss the bride, and you know your dad's got his eyes on you?
No.
You won't be thinking about it.
No.
I was gonna say that. I think my dad's like the last thing on my mind in that moment.
I like your dad. I feel bad that you just said that. I'm just kidding.
Did you
It's
think
just-
about your dad when you were getting married?
my dad was cheering. He was cool.
I think that's how every dad is.
No, not every dad is looking at his daughter comfortably the first time he sees his daughter kiss somebody.
Well,
Right.
and I think they have to be comfortable with who you're probably getting married to.
Yeah, that's true too. All right, well, let's go back to my questions. All right, thank you, Ronnie. Good questions. Okay, whoa, got the nickname. All right, what's your favorite thing about what you do?
When people comment or come in and say things like, I need to stop following you, or you get me every time, or like, it's just rewarding that people are
Right.
getting something.
You feel
out
like
of
you're
it.
doing a good job if
Yeah.
that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And I think that like oftentimes when that does happen, you have very happy people. You know what I mean? They're very excited they were able to see some of the work you did, and it translated into them getting something that they like.
Yeah.
That's good. Least favorite thing about what you do?
When there's no one around or doesn't want to take pictures with me.
Oh.
But I will say everyone is very open, and Casey, Cassidy, and Sam in specific are always there to help me.
Gotcha. But you've had moments where you're like, I need a pick and I don't have a person?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then you just use yourself at that time, right? You have.
I have, yeah.
Right. All right. That's your least favorite thing. Okay. If you could be anybody else in the company, who would you be?
I don't know.
You got to come up with something.
I feel like Carly.
Oh, nice. And why?
Just for a day.
Right.
Yeah, just for a day, just to. I feel like she's just like, oh, I go to yoga and I get a juice, and then I go up to Toronto and shop. Right? Like she's just like gallivanting, and she's like
good kind of bachelorette,
but also a hard worker.
Right. Good bachelorette.
Yeah, she's a good mix. Right. Yeah, not to say I don't love my family, but
no, totally. No, I got you. You can love what you do and then look at somebody else and say, "Oh, I'd like what they do too."
Yeah.
You know. So I often say, the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my life is having my kids. However, there are some things that kids bring to you that put you in a spot where you can't do everything you want to do. So there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. So, okay, Carly. Interesting. All right. Favorite thing in the store right now?
I love all the Goriana jewelry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just all so like it's statement like, and I just got one, and I feel like you want to start to like collect it.
Oh, so you own some?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm not super familiar with that. I'll have to take a look at that. Thanks for that answer. Sure. Okay. What are your two favorite brands in research and design?
Brands, probably Spanx, because I wear them every day. Mm-hmm. And Townie.
Of course. Of course, Townie. But you don't wear a Townie shirt every day.
No.
Okay, I like that. That's it's just a very good answer. Okay. What is your favorite fit? Like favorite outfit that you can think of in the store? And this should be a good question for you because you put together so many outfits that you post pictures of.
Yeah.
What's your favorite right now?
Probably the Bella Doll joggers. Just a white t-shirt, Sorel sneakers, and a denim jacket.
Nice. Do you own Bella Doll joggers?
Two.
That seems to be a big thing. I mean, that's been a common answer is those Bella Doll joggers.
You can't really keep them in stock.
It's an awesome face you're making right now. Give me a big smile, Sydney.
I'm not smiling.
Okay. All right. Every time I ask this question, I get myself in a little bit of trouble. Not with the person I'm asking, with my wife. When you were a child, did you dream of your wedding day?
No.
Not at all.
No, I didn't. A lot of people say like, oh, I dreamed of like a fairy tale. I never really thought about it.
Mm-hmm. You think your sister did?
No.
No, it just wasn't something that wasn't really a topic in your house.
No, we didn't really.
Right. Okay. That's good. All right. All right. What is the number one myth about you?
I don't don't know.
What do people think about you that's just straight up not true?
I don't think people think any. I feel like I am. Like, I'm just
So no
very
myths.
open. I don't.
So
Yeah.
no myths.
Do you think there's any?
There's no way you're going to get me to answer that question.
I don't think that there's any. No.
Okay. All right. That's
If I
fine.
think of one,
It's a no answer answer. Good
I know.
stuff. Okay. Favorite word?
I feel like I say really all the time. Like if someone's talking to me, I'm just like, oh, really? I feel like I say that all day.
Do you feel like that's the most reoccurring word or your favorite word?
It's my favorite too.
You like it?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's good stuff. All right. Who's the funniest person you know?
Funniest?
Yeah.
Probably Mark.
Like across the board in your entire life. He is funny as hell, definitely.
I think Mark and my dad's pretty funny.
Is he?
Yeah. He has a very dry sense of humor, though.
Gotcha. All right. What's KT not good at?
Not good at?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, there's one obvious one.
Being on time? Oh, no, I don't. No, I thought that's what you said. I thought that's what you meant because you
Sid,
were
how do you
late.
feel about
That one was like waiting to come.
Did you
out.
suddenly
I
feel
thought that you said that because you were late this morning.
Yeah, I was. Although I'm kind of okay at being on
No,
time.
you are.
But anyway, that was a shocker. Sydney, did you feel like protective of me for just about 2 seconds or not really?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. No, I was thinking ringing people out. I was just really bad at the register.
Oh.
I'm not good at that.
Yeah, no.
I actually get anxiety up there.
Really? Yeah, I think if we see you ringing, we always come over. And
Can you
help.
see the anxiety in my eyes when I'm doing it?
Not really, because you're you don't come off like that to the customer. Like, you
Right.
don't make them think you don't know what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Okay, the luckiest thing that ever happened to you.
Meeting my husband.
Very good. I agree with that. Okay. Tell me something that you know is true that almost nobody agrees with you.
Okay, I think I know I'm the only one in the barn and probably here too that thinks Orchard Fresh was overrated. I don't hate that it's shutting down. And everyone in the barn is like up in arms, and
Yeah.
it
Well,
didn't ever do it. Like, I didn't.
right. Well, my opinion is,
Like, wouldn't you want something better, like bigger and better to go in?
yeah, my opinion was that it was a little bit overrated. However, I was a little shy about saying that because I was happy that it was there.
Maybe
it's
because I'm not from there.
right. It's not what I expected it to be or wanted it to be. However, the fact that it was there and it was convenient to get the things that I wanted, I don't want to have anything bad to say about it.
Yep.
I do feel bad that they're not feel bad. I don't like that they're closing because it's going to make my life a little less convenient.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's my thought. But that's good. So nobody else thought that was true. Everybody else. So you feel like most people thought it was great,
Oh, yeah.
right?
I mean, it's not horrible. It's not the end of the world.
I just don't think it lived up to expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one. That's a good answer. Okay. All right. Okay. What do we have in the store right now that you think people should come and get because it's going to be gone?
Teva sandals. Because I think it's going to catch on because Ronnie's always ahead of her time. And I think once people realize that they're
Gotcha.
really cool and the best sandals, that
Mhm.
they're going to.
Are you
be gone,
gonna,
and then we probably won't be able to get
you
more.
going to get a pair?
I'm thinking about it.
Gotcha. Do you like the chunky heel ones?
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I think they're kind of cool. Okay, what's your biggest fear?
Spiders. Which I probably shouldn't have said that, though, because Mark's now probably going to play a prank
He
on
didn't
me.
know that?
No, he did. But
It's just a reminder.
he's...
So what is he going to do?
I don't know.
Buy like a rubber...
No, don't even put it in the side.
Okay, sorry. I was getting myself in a little bit of trouble there, Sydney. She's still not awake yet. What time? It's 9:24. You're supposed to wake up at 9.
Oh my God.
What a rough week. I had Joey. Okay. What's the best piece of advice you can give me?
Oh, jeez.
What am I doing wrong that you think that you can help me with? You know you don't have to worry about hurting my feelings.
No, I know. These things keep sliding.
Should I like put lifts in my shoes or something like that?
No. I don't even think anyone really knows or cares. You're not short.
Whoa.
You're not short.
No,
You're
I know.
taller than me.
Sydney thought I was, but
Um,
she's smiling now.
advice. I think for your personal brand, you could post more on your social media about your like product, like the hat. You have a sweatshirt's coming. Or,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Gotcha. That's good.
I think you could brand yourself more in that way.
Thank
Do
you.
like outfits, like your favorite sweatpants with your KT
I'm
sweatshirt.
totally a slacker on that.
Oh.
I get busy and then I back off. It's so bad. That's the worst thing I do. That's a great piece of advice. You know, in that regard, I get really mad at myself that I'm not as consistent as I'd like to be with my posting and things like that. So, all right. What questions do you have of me? Anything. It doesn't have to be. It could be any topic.
What's your dream car?
That is a really it's a very interesting question because recently my brain has shifted to I could really care less about cars, you know. I like that what is it, the G-Wagon, the 12-cylinder.
Oh, you do?
What is it? I forget I should know that too. There's 3 G-Wagon models, the G55, and then there's those 2 special editions, and the one that's the 12-cylinder. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my dream car, but I like them. They're pretty cool. A friend of mine had one or has one, and when I went for a ride in it, it was really cool. And it's funny because I've sort of fluctuated with G-Wagons, but every time I'm on the road and I see one, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. So, and other kind of like notable cars that I like are very similar to that. Like I like the Land Rover Defender and those kind of like boxy military type SUVs. So that's sort of my preference when it comes to that. But I don't really care that much about it.
Yeah.
Maybe someday, but as of now, I'm trading in my 2 SUVs for possibly 2 pickup trucks.
Oh, really?
Yes, I always need a pickup truck, and I'm always destroying the interior of my cars by shoving things in them. Mm-hmm. You know, there's always something I need to shove into my SUV that I say to myself, don't do that. You're going to ruin it. But I have to because it's what I do. So, all right. Thank you. That's a good question. Any other questions?
How many hours of sleep do you get a night? Because I feel like you don't really sleep.
I don't sleep that much. Between 3 and 6.
3?
3 and 6. Yes. But it's interesting. I should get more because the last probably hour and a half that I'm awake, I'm just useless. You know, I turn on the news or look at Instagram or something like that. I should be in bed, but I
You
can't.
don't really watch shows, do you? Like, do you have a show that like you're watching?
I haven't watched them in a while, but the last two shows that I liked were Handmaid's Tale
Oh, okay.
and Empire. Yes, have you watched Empire?
No, I feel like Kyle may have before, but
You watched that ever? It's okay. There's good music in it. It's funny. I mentioned it to a couple people. They're like, "Ugh, you like Empire?" I'm like, "I'm sorry. Guess I like the wrong thing." But I happen upon show. It's just by accident that I watch a show. I'm not a show watcher. I'm not like, "Hey, it's showtime. Let's just." There's times. I guess it's a good question for in regards to what I was talking about when I go into like kind of vegetable mode. The last hour and a half, I'm awake. It's hard for me to do something productive, so I might flick on a show like that and watch it. Waste of time that I do during that time period is turning on the news. It's just such a waste of time. It's like this, I don't feel like I'm getting that much out of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it is something that I can kind of flick on and not have to invest my mind in too deep. Where these shows, if I turn them on, you got to get in.
Right.
Where the news, it's like you can be a quarter in and get what you need out of it, type of thing. So that's a good question. I like that. All right, seeing that you had two good questions, what's your third good question? Because we're on a roll here.
What was your honest initial thought when we asked you if we could get married at your house?
See, I think you're revising history.
Oh.
I asked you if you wanted to get married at my house first. Didn't I offer it first?
No, I said when we first went there for a holiday party, like 2 years, no, more than that, 3 years before, I was like, I want to get married here. We weren't even engaged.
Oh, okay. So that's.
But I said that to Kyle. I probably never said it to you. But then maybe you did ask.
Well, okay, let's go with that. You asked me first, but in my brain, I feel like.
Oh.
Well, at a minimum, I think I made you comfortable enough to ask that question because you know the type of person I am. Mm-hmm. So going on that thread, nothing could make me happier. I was just, whenever it was, and I can't remember that whole thing exactly, but I know how I feel thinking back on it. Like it's the greatest thing ever. One of the joys of my life that A, you wanted to get married at my house, and B, that you actually did. It was just incredible. Mm-hmm. I loved it. It was one of my favorite days.
Mine too.
I would say that I can really enjoy other people's weddings more than I enjoy mine. I love that I married Ronnie. I love that we had a great wedding, mm-hmm. but it's not as enjoyable as other people's weddings because there's the stresses of a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I enjoyed it. I'm not saying I didn't, but like you as one of my favorite people in the world getting married at my house was just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. So, and if you want to get married at my new house, you're welcome to.
Oh,
Sydney. Because we know you're going to be married soon. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's not.
Just throwing it out there. So.
She's so young still.
Right. You are.
I'm 22.
I didn't ask
I'm
you,
32.
but thanks.
But that's really young.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right. Any other questions? Okay, this is good. We'll end it with this. Think of a question that might be slightly uncomfortable to ask me, but you like to know.
Oh, jeez.
And if you can't come up with something, you're on the clock next.
Something uncomfortable.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Who is your favorite employee and who's the employee that you wish was working a little bit harder?
Well,
Wow.
I wish everybody was working a little bit harder. I'm not going to pretend there. I think everybody does work very hard. And I don't wish anybody's working any harder for me. I mean, I wish people are working harder for themselves. You know, I think that there's what I think is one of the biggest myths in the world is that you should get the most for working the least. And I think the way you get the most is working the most. I think that the most valuable thing about work is work. What you learn and the experience of work. So I wish everybody was working harder for themselves because I want so much for everybody. You know, what was the first part of the question?
Like, who is, I guess, not your favorite employee, but the employee that like you don't really have much to change about?
Right now, you.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah. But if you got a lot more involved in the company, that would change. It's just in the role that you're in, there's nothing I need to change about what you do.
That was a safe answer.
Pardon?
So that was a safe answer.
No, it's not a safe answer. If I think I can go through the rest of the company, and there's just so much, Now, before you leave for New York, that's going to change big because if you're not prepared, I'm going to really feel guilty. So be ready. I mean, I'm a really nice guy, but I don't lose. So be ready for the not lose version of me. And Natalie can tell you about there's definitely two sides of me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like, I don't know if I've ever actually seen, I've seen you mad.
It's not even a matter of mad. I mean, I can get mad in that process, but it's the persistence. If I want to achieve a goal, and the goal I want to achieve with you is, you can go to New York and you could go right now and kind of, make your way through it. But I want you to go there on fire because, my reputation's on the line. I don't, really, I'm offering to help you, so it is a thing. But as of right now, for what you're doing, I don't need you to do anything different, But it's coming soon, and it's not for me. It's you being prepared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you've done a wonderful job of taking initiative on things and seeing things through. So pretty happy about that. Natalie's done an incredible job of that too. I would say that it's unbelievably fun and rewarding to see how well Natalie works with Ronnie. It's just incredible. Their dynamic of working together is almost as good as I've ever seen. It's really, really good. So that's sort of an answer to that question as well. Natalie does an incredible job there. And then, Mark's ability to execute what I think is the most important part of our retail in-store experience is just remarkable. I mean, I truly believe that what makes us special is making friends with our customers, and just nobody's better. Mm-hmm. Nobody. I mean, Mark might have a little competition in that with me, but he's probably better than I am at it. It's just his ability to do that is remarkable. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
He's just great. He loves to make friends with people, and he's very, very, very good at it. And he's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, unless anybody else at this table has a question of me, I think we can kind of wrap it up. This was fun, I could tell.
Yeah.
Good time. I think that being the center point of our social media existence, I think at some point you should be interviewing some people.
Okay.
It'd be kind of fun. This is really, it's comfortable. This format. Mm-hmm. I don't know why or how I got to the point, but there was a moment where I'm like, we have to create this studio because I know this will be a good path to us developing a lot more media, because there's something comfortable about sitting here with the mic in front of you and the headphones on. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I haven't nailed it, but like literally I have been comfortable with it right from the get-go. And I haven't had a person that I put behind that other mic to talk to that I think got real nervous about it. It's just a comfortable format.
Yeah.
It's
Well, there's no camera like right in your face.
right. And I think you're sitting. I think that's better than standing. Truly, you're standing up and there's a camera on you. It's way different than being able to sit down in front of the camera.
Right.
So anyway, any other questions or comments?
No, I think that's it.
Nice. I got to get you all of this footage. So if you want to take little bits and pieces of all these podcasts that we've done,
Yeah.
you're welcome to do it. So, all right. Well, thank you. This was
Thank you.
This was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I'll have you back very soon. And are you working today?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm sure I will be in contact with you today. So,
Yep.
all right. Peace, everybody.